My name is Aisha Ibrahim. This afternoon, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and UN agencies in Ghana have shut down their offices and have asked workers to stay home after it emerged one of two recorded coronavirus cases in Ghana is an employee of the UN. The health minister, Menu, at a news conference late last night said the two cases, which originated from Norway and Turkey, were confirmed yesterday by the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. Well, Information Minister Kojo Ponkroma provided more details on the two cases on the Super Morning Show today.
These are two males. One came from Norway, one came from Turkey. One is a foreigner, one is a Ghanaian who is domiciled and works abroad, who came down to visit. Both have been in the jurisdiction and briefed just about a week or so currently. Yesterday, they complained of symptoms. They were put in isolation, and bear in mind that isolation does not necessarily mean health facility. They were put in isolation and samples taken from that isolation place and sent to Noguchi for testing. The team that is running these tests at Noguchi put us in a meeting and then made this detail available to us, at which time they were commencing the treatment processes as well. The doctors and the nurses who've been specifically trained for this exercise were now on standby to ensure that treatment also was commencing, while the contact tracing, based on the data that is gathered in accordance with the entire system that has been put in place, also commenced.
Now, our understanding is that one of them works at an embassy here in Ghana. Is that accurate?
I will not be going into any further details. As I mentioned, it is important to respect the protocols for managing this, which ensures that you don't set unnecessary panic within various communities. But as much information as can be put out, we put them out and we allow the system to work to do the contact tracing to engage persons who need to be engaged. Persons who don't need to be engaged don't need to be panicked by suspicions and stories around of what people are hearing in the grapevine.
Well, in the last few hours, JoyNews is learning that the Norwegian ambassador to Ghana held a party with some selected schools in Accra. Maxwell Agbagba joins us live from one of those schools, the Ghana International School. Maxwell, where exactly are you and what is happening where you are?
Well, Aisha, what we are learning about the party where some students attended, the German-Swiss International School. That was where before we headed here to the Ghana International School. And there at the German-Swiss International School, authorities were still locked up in a meeting. We're told by our sources there that the meeting was over coronavirus, and they were taking plans on what's the next line of action and what's going to be. Our source at the German-Swiss International School actually told us that it is possible that the school would be closed for a period of 2 weeks before any additional, or any further plans, will be taken by management of the school on what to do next. But if you know the German-Swiss International School, we have a lot of expatriates attending that particular school. At the time that we were there, and some parents were actually coming to the school compound to pick their children back home. We are told that after today, the school will be closed for a period of 2 weeks. But here at the Ghana International School, in about 20 minutes, school would close, would officially end today at exactly 3:30 p.m. And as you can see in the background, some cars are lined up there trying to get access to the school compound. Some parents trying to go and pick their children, from school. School would close at exactly 3:30 p.m. But the information that we have and the communique from the management of the Ghana International School indicates that the school will be closed for a period of 2 weeks. And that has been necessitated because of the, the coronavirus case, positive case that have been recorded here in Ghana. The authorities here are taking precautionary measures, especially because they have expatriates here. They have people whose parents come from different parts of the world. So it has become necessary for the school to be closed down for a period of 2 weeks. As it stands right now, in the junior school on my right-hand side, we are told that there's an ongoing meeting right now to discuss the scope of the shutdown. But one thing that was visible, that was very clear to us, the two schools that we visited, the JoyNews International School and here at the Ghana International School, is the sanitizers and how management are ensuring that the children in the school are protected. In fact, at the JoyNews International School, we observed that the security man, anyone who walks into the compound of the JoyNews International School, is directed straight to the sanitizer, and you'd have to go there and sanitize your hand before you get access to the compound. If you do not do that, it will be difficult for you to get access to the compound. And even here at the Ghana International School, we've seen something similar, where they have hand sanitizers at vantage points. The moment you enter, you'd have to sanitize your hand before you get access to the compound of the school. What we are learning about this shutdown, this 2-week shutdown, is that the students will now be using a virtual learning platform, and they'll be continuing with studies from home. And these virtual learning platforms would enable them to still keep up with what they were doing whilst they were in school. Some parents that we've been interacting with tell us that in an email that was sent by the principal of the school, Ghana International School, Dr. Mary Eshen, sometime yesterday, indicated that the children would have to pack their books, essential textbooks, from their lockers today. And we were told by some of the parents that that is happening. So if you have a mathematics textbook, if you have an English textbook, you would have to pick it up today, because from Monday, for a period of 2 weeks, you will not come to school and you'll be learning from home. Some parents that we've been speaking to here have commended the school authorities for doing a good job and responding appropriately towards these 2 cases that we've recorded here in Ghana, Aisha.
So, how are teachers preparing the minds of these young ones who will be going home any moment from now?
Well, our sources here we've been speaking to tell us that the 2-week break is also to enable the teachers to the parents of these children who attend school here, to calm them down and also psych them up that there are interventions from all different health organizations in the world to try and find a solution to this. And we understand that that is what the teachers also will be doing today. A parent that I spoke to, told me that yesterday in the email that he got from the principal of the school, it was stated that the teachers will today use the opportunity to calm down the students, to allay their fears about the situation even before they go home. So our sources here have confirmed that has happened. They've been speaking to the students not to be scared or not to panic over the situation that we have here in Ghana, Aisha.
Have you spoken with any student yet, Maxwell? What is how are they reacting to this whole news?
Well, it's very difficult speaking to a student right now. School would end at exactly 3:30, so in some minutes the students will be walking out of the school campus. Many of them are in the classrooms now, as we told that the school authorities are also locked up in a meeting. All the people we met here are tight-lipped on the matter. In fact, they wouldn't even allow us closer to the school gates. Some persons we've been speaking to tell us that every information that they want to communicate and they want to put out there is available in that communique that they released, and that is also available on the Ghana International School website. They say that beyond that statement, they don't want to speak to the issue. All the people we've met here are quite tight-lipped. Even parents who are at the car park on my right-hand side, majority of them would not speak to us. The few of them we spoke to gave us the impression that they were, they were happy with the decision that has been, taken by the school. So on the school authority speaking to the issue, no, they've been tight-lipped. They say beyond the press release, they are not going to say anything. They're not going to speak to the issue. So that has been the situation. It's been quite difficult trying to get them to find out from them what this coronavirus case here in Ghana means to them. The school authority is difficult, the student is very difficult, and even for the parents, Aisha.
Well, many thanks to you. Maxwell Agbagba is our correspondent on that beat, and we're still monitoring events. It does look like many other schools will follow suit as the Ghana Education Service lock up with the Ministry of Health to decide what next to do with the other schools. We're monitoring events and seeing what will happen in the days to come. But JoyNews has also cited correspondence from UN authorities here in Ghana to their staff following the announcement that one of their personnel had contracted the virus. The statement reads, and it's also published on the UN website. We'll bring you that statement shortly. But okay, so that statement says, this is to let you know that we were informed last night that one of our UNDP colleagues tested positive for COVID-19. We want to first let you know that our colleague is in good hands, has followed the necessary protocols, and is now under medical observation and receiving excellent care at an assigned facility. And so you may also have heard that the UN offices have closed, and it says, we hence want to assure you that there is no need for concern within our team and wish to share the following facts. So it's actually giving some, so it says the colleague's last day of work on UN premises was Thursday, 12 March 2020. The colleague returned to Ghana from travel in Turkey on the 29th February 2020 and started feeling ill 2 days ago. During the time of travel and stay in Ankara, there was no reported community transmission of COVID-19. So those are the content, or that's the content of that statement that was released by the UNDP a while ago. And you know that their offices have been locked. And it says, we have immediately informed management in New York, including DCO, the UNDP Regional Bureau Management, the Division of Healthcare Management and Occupational Safety and Health, as well as UNDSS, and we continue to receive their full support and guidance. And that statement continues to say, because our colleague worked until the morning of 12 March 2020 from his office at the UNDP building, I, in coordination with their representatives of all agencies based at the UNDP UNICEF compound and as endorsed by headquarters management, have decided, out of precaution and for safety and well-being of all our staff, that staff normally working at UNDP UNICEF compound should work from home until contact tracing is concluded and decisions taken in coordination with the national authorities. For others, please go to your offices as usual tomorrow. And that's the directive from the UNDP.